How does a bus driver become the president of one of the world's most oil-rich nations? This isn't the start of a movie plot. It's the real-life story of Nicolás Maduro, a man whose journey from the streets of Caracas to the presidential palace is as controversial as it is remarkable. To understand the Venezuela of today, we must first understand the man who holds its reins. Let's explore the improbable rise of Nicolás Maduro. Born in 1962 in Caracas, Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, Moros, grew up in a working-class family. His father was a trade union leader, and from a young age, Nicolás was immersed in the world of leftist politics and labor activism. This environment shaped his worldview long before he ever thought of entering the political arena. He didn't come from a wealthy dynasty or a military academy. His roots were firmly planted in the everyday struggles of the Venezuelan people. Unlike many of his political peers, Maduro didn't pursue a university degree. Instead, he started working as a bus driver for the Caracas metro system. It was here, behind the wheel, navigating the bustling city streets, that his political career truly began. He quickly became a trade union representative, fighting for the rights of his fellow workers. This role wasn't just a job, it was a training ground. He learned how to negotiate, how to mobilize people, and how to speak the language of the common man. His experiences as a union leader gave him a grassroots credibility that would become invaluable in his later political life. The pivotal moment in Maduro's life came in the early 1990s, when he met Hugo Chávez. At the time, Chávez was an army lieutenant colonel, imprisoned for leading a failed coup attempt in 1992. Maduro, along with his future wife Cilia Flores, became a passionate supporter of Chávez and part of the movement calling for his release. He saw in Chávez a charismatic leader who shared his vision for a socialist Venezuela. This meeting was more than just a political alliance. It was the beginning of a deep mentorship. Chávez saw in Maduro a loyal and dedicated follower, someone he could trust. Once Chávez was released and launched his political career, Maduro was right there with him. When Chávez won the presidency in 1998, Maduro's ascent began. He started as a member of the National Assembly and quickly rose through the ranks. He became the president of the National Assembly, then the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and finally, vice president. For over a decade, Maduro served as Chávez's right-hand man. He was the quiet operator in the background, learning the intricacies of power, foreign policy, and domestic control directly from the key architect of Bolivarian socialism. He was the ultimate student, absorbing every lesson in loyalty and political maneuvering from his powerful mentor. In March 2013, everything changed. After a long battle with cancer, Hugo Chávez died, leaving a massive power vacuum and a nation in mourning. Chávez was more than a president. He was a larger-than-life figure, a comandante to his followers. His death plunged Venezuela into a state of profound uncertainty. Before he died, Chávez had publicly anointed Nicolás Maduro as his chosen successor, urging his followers to vote for him if anything were to happen. This endorsement was Maduro's golden ticket, but it also placed an immense burden on his shoulders. Could he ever truly fill the shoes of his charismatic predecessor? Just a month after Chávez's death, a special presidential election was held. Maduro, running as the heir to Chávez's legacy, faced off against opposition leader Enrique Capriles. The campaign was intense and deeply polarized. Maduro framed the election as a choice between continuing Chávez's revolution or returning to the old ways. He won, but by a razor-thin margin, one of the narrowest in Venezuelan history. His victory was immediately contested by the opposition, setting the stage for the political conflict that would define his presidency. Against all odds, the former bus driver was now president, but his mandate was fragile from the very beginning. Maduro inherited a country teetering on the edge. While Chávez had benefited from record-high oil prices, those prices began to plummet shortly after Maduro took office. Venezuela's economy, almost entirely dependent on oil exports, went into a freefall. Shortages of food, medicine, and basic goods became rampant. Hyperinflation soared, wiping out savings and making the currency virtually worthless. This devastating economic crisis triggered a massive humanitarian crisis, leading millions of Venezuelans to flee the country in one of the largest migrations in modern Latin American history. Maduro found himself leading a nation in a state of constant emergency. Faced with a collapsing economy, widespread protests, and intense international pressure, Maduro's presidency became a master class in political survival. He consolidated his power by taking control of key institutions, including the judiciary and the Electoral Council. He created a new legislative body, the Constituent Assembly, to bypass the opposition-controlled National Assembly. He also ensured the loyalty of the military, a critical pillar of support, by granting its leaders key positions in the government and control over lucrative sectors of the economy. Critics called it a slide into authoritarianism. His supporters called it a necessary defense against foreign-backed attempts to overthrow his government. Nicolás Maduro's journey from a bus driver to the president is a story of loyalty, opportunity, and an unyielding grip on power. He rose in the shadow of a giant, inherited a nation at its breaking point, and has managed to hold on against all odds. His legacy will be debated for generations. Is he the loyal revolutionary who protected Chávez's vision from its enemies, or the authoritarian leader who presided over the catastrophic collapse of a once prosperous nation? As Venezuela continues to navigate its uncertain path, the future of the country and the legacy of its unlikely president remain one of the most compelling questions in modern politics. Thank you for watching. If you found this story interesting, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the figures who shape our world. See you next time!